Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Tuesday show and welcome back from our long little break that we just had. Hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff that happened while we were away, anywhere from Joe Biden pardoning his son Hunter, ACLU lawyers trying to still push for trans kids to have the right to change their gender. Kamala Harris, of course, the border, 2,000 Mules. There's an interesting story out there about Dinesh D'Souza. And if you were a fan of the documentary that he made, 2,000 Mules, you're going to be very interested in this story. But we have so much more, so much that I cannot even list it here. But you guys make sure to go get your snack, go get your drink, settle in, because the show starts right now.
You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Suni and Mo.
You remixed it.
What's up, y'all? I did. I was like, I need to change it. It's been Bryson for a long time. And look, Bryson's song served its purpose.
It did. But it always got me hyped.
It did. I like that song better though.
Yeah, that's very like upbeat and like we're gonna get along. We're not gonna fight. And then bam.
I haven't even fought. All right.
No, you haven't. You've been very mellow.
I haven't been fighting. I've been very chill for like the past couple days.
Yeah.
You need to do a video to go along with the intro.
We might just do that. We might just do that.
You just gotta wait and see. No, but I'm very zen. I feel like super centered. I don't know why, but I do.
That's great.
I was barely talking. Usually we're like talking and I'm like, oh my God, let me get up and go do this.
You've been like that for like 2 weeks.
What is wrong with me?
I don't know. Maybe you're going into menopause.
Oh my God. First of all, I'm 34.
I started the journey at like 35 and then I got my uterus taken out and then I was like, whew, flung into it.
Let's not speak that into existence over here.
Well, you know, you never know.
I hear we're not even going to get into that, but there's horror stories that I've heard. I would rather have my monthly flow than to go through that for sure.
Not me, girl. Not me. Okay. I wish I would have done it.
You get an excuse to say, leave me alone. Because everybody knows not to bother you for those 3 days. They're like, all right, mom's going to be a little weird. My wife, I'm just going to let her chill.
Yeah.
That's the day where you just like slide the chocolate and different snacks under the door and go away.
Yeah. I mean, technically you'll still have that excuse in the very beginning of menopause because there's other things going on. Like, you know, I don't know if you really want to have sex with me right now because it's like, you know, rubbing your penis up against sandpaper. It's just not a present. It's like I'm back. Yes. No, I mean your body.
Oh my God!
Your body goes through changes, and there's an adjustment period. So you do have some excuse, and then of course there's like the craziness that happens internally. Yeah.
Oh man.
Here we go with all the people that are like, ew, you're talking about sex and biology.
Because women watch this show too, Listen, I know there's an element of men that like to hear common sense from women, and you guys watch because you get that from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a whole nother side to what we experience. And we should talk about it because we're naturally women.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about it enough. You got these weirdos that we're going to talk about later in the show that think that they can transform into something else.
Yeah.
And then pretend that they have. Do you ever see the what do I call them? I'm trying to remain PC.
Transformers?
I can say Transformers. Okay.
Yeah.
The Transformer
Uh-huh.
got an uterus injected into itself
Ew, like a
and
transplant?
like a transplant, and then proceeded to pretend to have cramps, was on the bed like, oh my God.
Oh.
I was like, this is mental
But
illness on
does it
black.
even work? Like, is it just like you're installing a uterus, but does it have any like functionality? Or is it like, like when you put like a loud muffler on your car to like make it seem
It
like it's
doesn't
doing
do
something?
anything. Like it needs to be attached to fallopian tubes.
Right.
It's just
And
there.
hormones. Like there's a whole chemical reaction that
Like
needs
we
to
have
happen.
nerves that are built into
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know what they're feeling.
I guess. I mean, if that's what you feel like you need to do to like feel like you're fooling yourself, but I listen, you could look like a whole woman, you could even have a uterus inserted into your body. I will have a conversation with you and I will know in 2 seconds if you're the real deal or not, because there's just some things it does not matter. Only women would know.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You
There's
can't.
some
I was
stuff that
just thinking
happens.
about that. I was thinking about that earlier. I don't know why. I can't remember why this popped in my head, but I said, how do trans men and trans women like mimic the opposite gender that they're trying to be? Like what do they study in order for them to feel like they can go out and present like a man or a woman?
Well, that's a
They
really
have
good
to be
thing.
studying something.
Listen, your guess is as good as mine because my number one critique of
Mm-hmm.
gay men, so there's like two different things. There's trans
Mm-hmm.
men who are trying to behave like women, and then there's gay men who are presenting as a man, but they're acting very feminine. Neither
Mm-hmm.
one of them represent the way women actually act because none of us talk like this, and we don't have like
Right.
this hard S, like slithery S in our like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's so exaggerated, and I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I,
It's weird.
you just brought up a good point. Like like where does that come from? Because I don't talk like that.
I have
You
no
don't talk
idea.
like that.
Suni.
Yeah, that's so
Bitch.
weird.
Like, we don't talk
Well,
like
you know
that.
what? Bryson says that they all imitate ghetto black women. So maybe I just answered my own question. Shout out to Bryson. For real, he said why why every gay man act like ratchet women? Why y'all act like ratchet women?
Right. Right.
So maybe they're studying. They have to be studying like the Hollywood element of women to
Yeah.
feel like that they can go out and do this. It's just mind blowing. And I wonder the same thing about women. Like, what are you observing about men to make you feel like you can go out and be a man?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think the women probably do a better job of it than the men do of imitating women.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a more believable job at least. Like as far as like the way they carry
You
themselves,
got to
how
break that down because see, that just threw me for a loop.
Well, because I feel like when men try to imitate women, if they're trying to be, if they're, trying to present as women,
Mm-hmm.
they are very dramatic and over the top with it.
Mm-hmm.
And when women are trying to present as masculine or manly, they are a little bit more believable because I think that they present more so like in the way they carry themselves, not in how they talk.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Because I've met women that are dykes, like like they're more masculine women.
Okay.
And they have their normal women voice, but they carry themselves like men, like to the point, like Brittany Griner, like when I went to the basketball game, right? And like Brittany Griner, like she has a deep voice, but like she has something about the way she presents herself and how she carries herself that I literally felt like I was in the presence of a man. So much so that I was just like, wait a minute. Like I could forget for a second that she was a woman.
Wow.
Does that make me a lesbian? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, see, this is what's confusing about it. And I highlighted Marlandon's comment because he's so right. Like something is mentally wrong with you if you choose to want to be a woman, because it's really like we're not dealing with a full deck, okay? Like
What?
you gotta have all these screens open all the time. Like, men, you guys think about a couple things: food, sex, and like whatever you're doing at that particular moment. Women are thinking about so many things at one time. We're like hot and cold, like 1 minute we're like super happy, the next minute something can bring us completely down. We hold grudges. Like there's just too much to it. Like, why would you choose to do that? You know?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anytime I see one, I feel like they're putting on extra to be masculine. Like
Mm,
when I look at Brittany Griner, I feel like she puts on extra to be masculine. Like I
really?
know
How
you're a
so?
woman and because look, I'm chill, right?
Mhm.
This is something that I talked about on my video. I'm super chill. I'm laid back. I don't sit with my legs gapped open with
Mhm.
my hand like this. I sit in a room and I sit like a normal person, right? This is how women sit. Some of us sit with our legs crossed, whether it's at the knee or like at the
Yeah.
ankles.
Ankles,
Like
uh-huh.
I put my hands in the middle of my legs sometimes, and sometimes I rock. Right, this is typically how women sit.
Mhm.
When I'm looking at her sit, I'm looking at someone like men don't sit all like this and do like when you see men do that, that's when they're putting on like hip hop, trying to be extra ghetto or brolic. When I watch a man sit at my couch, or I watch my husband's friends come over and they sit down, they sit like men. They don't
Yeah,
got their
okay.
legs all gapped open doing all this extra stuff. Um, like I was watching a clip of Brittany Griner. Now that you mentioned her,
Yeah.
you're a mom, Brittany. How do you feel? You got a son in the world. Yeah, nah. It's pops. I'm like, bro, what dude
Pops,
talks
yeah.
like that, bro? Like what man talks like that?
Yeah, I mean, she does a little bit for sure. She does do that a little bit. But like what I'm talking about is like when I was seeing the way she stands, like you're talking about sitting, like men when they stand, like men in general, especially if you're like a masculine man, if you're a feminine man, maybe not so much, but if you're like a very masculine man takes up space, right? So he stands like with his feet a little bit wider. When he sits down, he's not like, his legs are a little bit wider because he's demanding his space as a man. Like I find that often on airplanes, like when I fly, like I'll be like in the middle, like this, and like the guy will be like with his legs just like comfortable, like just loose, you know. I'm with my legs crossed the entire flight because I'm trying to just, take up as little space as I need to. And guys just demand space. And so like when I see women trying to present in a very masculine way, they stand like that with their legs wider. Like they have something down there.
It's it's gotta be mental illness because
It has to
there,
be.
there's nothing there. There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
I know. There's nothing there. So like I think do they feel like in their mind there's something there?
This is what I'm saying. This is and I'm gonna stop because I know I'm getting deep into this question, but this is how I think.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it feels like to carry a set of balls and a penis.
Right.
Women will never know what that feels like. Will never know what it feels like to engage in intercourse as a man
Mhm.
because we don't have what they have.
Yeah.
So when I say, what are you studying to know all these things, to know how to properly react, to know how a man would react in this situation, like what are you studying and what are you like, how do you know how to do this? It's
Yeah.
not real. What I'm ultimately saying is it's not real.
That's what I
it's a
wish we could
fake sense of what you think it means to be a man or how a man acts in this sense. Or for a woman, a trans woman, you think women like moan and groan, oh my God, my cramps. Most of us sit there in silence.
in silence. We suffer in silence. And we're just like a bitch to everybody else, but we're suffering in silence.
Right. It's not this big dramatic experience that they're like present. It's just so fake, dude. It is so fake. See, you'll
Know the
never know
pain.
the pain of accidentally
Right.
sitting on your balls. Thank
Exactly.
you. I
Or
don't know what that's like.
and vice versa, you'll never know the pain of somebody like, like punching you, or not punching you, but like elbowing you in the boob or something, or like your
Yeah,
kids,
that hurts.
or like your babies, like, you know, like when your kids are like, "Oh," they're playing rough with you, and then
Bro.
our boobs are your balls, basically.
That's what I told my husband. That's exactly what I told my husband. We were talking
Yeah.
about that one day.
Yeah.
It's true. So I don't know. So I just go into deep thought about these things, because you have real life humans, adults, my
Mhm.
age and your age and older, thinking that there are people that can literally transform into another gender.
Yeah.
And that's scary. That is scary, because if you can manipulate a population into believing that, what else can you do, and what else have you done?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
scary, man.
It is. It is. It's, I wish we had like two people of those circumstances that we could ask and be like, so when did you start like, how did you start developing how you were going to present yourself? Like,
Yeah,
where did the voice come from?
It's got to be like an alter ego, which is you're already teetering on like some evil demonic shit, because who is this person that you created?
You know what? Okay, you know Amir Odom? He's like a conservative influencer. He's gay. Okay. So Amir, he's very, like, when he speaks, he's very like gay, like the typical gay guy. You know, the way he annotates things. One day he was like on his live, and he literally was like, I'm gonna talk like a straight man now. And he like lowered his voice. It was like a completely different person. And I was like, what? Like, your voice is complete. So if you can do that, that means that you're choosing to talk the way you talk. That was really weird to me. Like, I was just like, whoa.
Christian Walker did it. He would
Christian
go from
Walker.
I said, bro, that's a demon. I'm keeping it consistent, bro.
Yeah.
You can when you can flip. You know what it reminds me of? You remember that movie where the guy is like mentally ill, and he is
Yeah.
a little kid sometimes, and then
Yes.
he's an adult sometimes, and then he's a monster sometimes.
Yes.
That
Mhm.
movie
He
freaks
had all
me
those
the fuck out.
personalities. Yeah.
With the bald dude. That's what
Mhm.
trans people remind me of, which is why I'm so afraid of them. People think that
Yeah.
it's me being dramatic. You don't understand the thoughts. These thoughts that you're hearing tonight, these are the thoughts that go in my head.
Yeah.
Like when this video I'm going to show you guys, because it's on the topic. This woman looks evil to me. She does not look normal. I know for a fact this is a woman, and she's pretending to be a guy.
Oh my God, that blew my mind. When it opened its mouth, I was like, what? You guys have to hear this. You're going to be blown away.
We're going to hop into our topics. Yeah. Look, this is a fun show. I'm going to pull things. She's going to pull things. We got 19 people here. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this. Let people know that we're live. I know a lot of people didn't get a notification. I sure didn't get a notification on my phone. So thank you guys so much. But yo, listen to this, bro.
I want to bring in the lawyer who's going to argue this high-profile case before the U.S. Supreme Court, Chase Strangio.
Before I even let y'all hear the voice, just look at its eyes, bro. That doesn't even look normal. You look like
Beady.
Edward from
Yeah.
Twilight. You look like you could be a vampire. It's just evil.
Yeah, dude, the eyes do look kind of crazy. Never trust anybody with like squinty, beady eyes like that, anyways.
Chase, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. So the case comes at a time when 26 states have passed laws restricting healthcare treatments for transgender youth, according to a CNN analysis of data from the nonprofit think tank Movement Advancement Project. So how do you plan to argue before the U.S. Supreme Court in a case that could have wide-ranging implications beyond the state of Tennessee?
Well, thank you for having me, Jake. And obviously, this is a critical inflection point for transgender people across the country. We're coming off of an election season where transgender people played an outside role in people's consciousness in terms of the way in which we were situated as a threat to others. And when we look at the map of states that ban this type of evidence-based healthcare, we went from 0 states that had these bans in 2020 to now more than half the country. So before the court tomorrow, the question is really a simple one as I see it. It's really, this is a law that bans medical treatment only when it is prescribed inconsistent with an individual's sex. Our argument is that that treats people differently because of their sex, and therefore the court has to treat it like all other forms of sex discrimination, and that's why it's unconstitutional.
So attorneys representing the state of Tennessee told the U.S. Supreme Court, quote, if the government's theory holds, men who identify as women could claim constitutionally based access to women's bathrooms, women's locker rooms, and women's sports. Accepting that theory would perversely erode women's rights and jeopardize landmark statutes protecting women's equal access to schools, winners' podiums, and beyond.
I want to pause there because I don't want to get copyright strikes. You know, YouTube is really sensitive about this. But what is your take based on what you just heard and what they want to do? What's your take?
I think it's disgusting. And I'm like, why do you want to fight so hard for this? Like, why can't you just use the bathroom? Why is it always about going in the freaking bathroom? Okay. Like, why does that have to be your bottom line? What bathroom you use? There's stalls in the men's bathroom. If you're a man by birth, go in the freaking stall and sit down or stand up or do whatever the fuck you want. But you don't need to be in a bathroom with genetic women, okay? Like women who are real women. You don't need to be in the bathroom. You don't need to be in the bathroom with their kids. That's number one. Number two, this was kind of making my point, this guy's voice, okay? Or this chick's voice, because this is a chick presenting as a man. Like, he didn't say, or she didn't say, this is the other thing, like, what the fuck do I call you? Because like, you sound like a girl. Why did you choose, like, you choose to change your outer appearance, and then you're just going to talk like this and just be like, you know, like your high-pitched regular girl voice. And it's like, what? Like, complete the project, okay? Oh, gosh. Anyways, but yeah,
We're
I
gonna
just
keep
think,
going.
I
I don't
these
need to say
people
what
are
I think.
disgusting.
Everyone knows what
These
I think.
People are disgusting.
It's wild, man. We're gonna listen to more of this.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
Well, I obviously disagree with that premise that allowing transgender women into women's sports or women's bathroom is a threat to women, but it is also not the question before the court in this case. And in fact, it is a totally independent question about whether a law that bans medical care for transgender adolescents discriminates against people based on sex versus these separate cases that preceded any of these healthcare bans will continue to be litigated in the courts regardless of the outcome here. So that clearly is conflating a bunch of different questions. The question before the court tomorrow is about whether banning medical care, overriding the consent of parents, the recommendations of doctors is a violation of equal protection.
Did you hear what this thing just said? A violation of equal protection if you don't get to override what your parents have to say.
Right.
And you take so much heat when you don't like these people.
Yeah.
But this is why.
Yeah. This is why. Because this is sick. This is sick.
And it's not like it's a minority. They got to
Right.
stop that lie. There's a lot of people out here, gay and straight, that think it is absolutely okay to do it. This person is on TV broadcasting to the world. And the fact that CNN, man, I wish some of these things just never got the light of day. You know, half the time you don't even know something's gone to Supreme Court because the news doesn't put it on TV.
Right.
Like, just let them go to the Supreme Court. It's their right, but strike
Yeah.
it down, go home, have a nice day. Why do we got to
Right.
televise this? It's so disgusting.
Yeah. And how funny that his last name is Strangio or whatever the fuck. Look, this makes me sick. These people are mentally ill. You know me, like, if you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be trans. But my line is drawn when you start talking about children and just letting them override their parents and letting them make these huge life-changing decisions. Because we've had people on this show that have transitioned when they were kids and they have said that they regret it. And you guys have probably seen tons of people also say the same thing. I know Candace had a girl on her show that was the same. It does damage to these kids that is irreversible. And it's disgusting that there's people with a straight face and our lawyers that are fighting for this to happen. Like they want this. And then CNN is having these weirdos on here to promote this stuff to people. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't know what Trump needs to do when he gets in office, but that like talking about this shit needs to be done. Like we don't need to hear about it. I agree with you. It needs to like be done
And just
bottom
yeah,
shelf brown paper bag.
yeah. If this continues to just be a topic, um, I don't know. It worries me for the future, because so many conservatives and Republicans have literally bend the knee. We have
Mhm.
gays against groomers. Like they can exist. I can't take that away, but to integrate is crazy. We didn't insulate ourselves from any of this, and now we're like being infiltrated is what I feel like I'm watching. I feel like liberalism has taken over the right. Classic
Yeah.
liberalism mixed with whatever modern liberal ideas people have now,
Mhm.
which they think is within reason. And I say this because I went to a Brandon Straka event on X. This is when they started first having these spaces. I don't know
Mhm.
if anybody can remember. I said I'm gonna go to this town hall because it was happening in Florida, right during the "Don't Say Gay" bill whole shenanigans, and I
Right.
wanted to hear what they would be talking about. And I heard mothers on there saying, "I let my son dress up like a princess. So what? He's a kid. If he grows out of it, he grows out of it. I have my son who's gay." You know, like they were normalizing this entire thing. And I thought, wow, this is what you're inviting in. And now look at where we are today. You have
Mhm.
the Hodge twins bringing Blair White on, referring to her as she. That's a grown
Right.
man that still got hit. He ain't did the bottom surgery yet.
Yeah. I know that like you would rather not talk about it at all. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like your thing. Like we don't need to talk about any of it. Not children, not adult people who are gay or
Mm-mm.
transsexual. And I'm kind of like a little bit opposite of it, right? Like, I dabble, I have
Yeah.
friends. I don't dabble in anything, but I have friends, that are gay and I'm, cool with them. But I do agree with you that this is what comes of like normalizing the conversation, because
Yeah.
then you start to normalize the behavior, and then it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, where's the line in the sand? Where does it stop? Because then it just keeps going and going and going, and it's like this
Right.
gigantic like ball of yarn that just
Big
keeps
mess.
a big mess. Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's my only like concern. Like you can't
Stop
the
it.
days, yeah, the days of me being like, we can't talk about this because I want to stop it. That's over for me,
Mhm.
because it's here to stay and it's not going anywhere, regardless of my, religious views. Unfortunately, it's here, but if I can resist it where it matters and call attention to where it matters, then I think people should be open to listen to that, because why not? It's a
Mhm.
problem we're facing now where this is being normalized on the right and the left. So we're not really getting rid of anything LGBTQ. We're just,
Yeah.
to me, it's just a virtue signal. Don't
Mhm.
talk to the kids about it. But, when they're 18, 19, 20, and 21, go ahead and mutilate yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. No.
And the question is, because we know it's not about acceptance, right? Because they don't accept everybody and who they want to be and what they want to do, not
Yeah.
just the gay situation. But the next question is, okay, well, why are they focusing so much on just like, we need to accept? Specifically, they talk very much about boys who want to
Yeah.
transition. Like, you don't hear so much the girls. They very much focus on boys, and
Boys.
that's concerning to me, because there's an ulterior motive there, and that's really what we should be concerned about. So,
I'm on the same page.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Kash Patel.
Yeah, Mo made a really good point. She brought something back to the forefront of my mind. She said, "You remember
Is
He's
she
like,
still
what,
in
what
here?
what do you think about? What are you still here, Red Pill?
Red pill.
Before I talk about this, Red Pill, if you are here, stand up. Please raise your hand and come to the front of the class.
We are summoning you.
Step to the front of the class.
We're all silent. Oh, she's
I
there.
know.
Okay, go.
She's
Hit
there.
her.
Okay.
She was so
So-
happy.
I was like, oh, you make a good point. So listen, you don't want Curry in your White House, but you want Curry chilling up in the FBI. And I think I want to understand how, what, where, and why, Sway. Like how did you come to this conclusion that this guy was a good pick? Look, do y'all see him? He is Indian as ever.
Except he
He
doesn't
ain't gonna
sound
be up in-
Indian.
He ain't gonna be up in there praying to Jesus. This brother's Hindu.
She says I'm so torn.
So Kash Patel, I don't know if he has been officially selected, but I know he has been, I guess, nominated by Trump to be
Yeah.
the director of the FBI.
To replace
And a lot of
Christopher
people
Wray.
like him
Mm-hmm.
to replace, yes. A lot of people like him for his commentary on releasing the JFK files, on releasing the 7-page 9/11 report, which we're all here for. Because you know what I said, Trump, if you don't get in there and expose everything and blow it up, then it's going to be F Trump for the rest of my life, bro. Because that means we go back to business as usual. And you didn't get in office and do shit. That's
Yeah.
what it means.
Yeah. We were talking about it off air. And Red Pill, if you want to come up here and defend yourself, Suni, can you post the link?
Yeah, I got you.
So this is one of these situations like where I know very little about Kash Patel, but I agree with Red Pill. Well, not about the Curry thing necessarily. There's just something about this guy
Yeah.
that I'm like, it doesn't sit right with me. And the first time I actually met him, like in person, I met him at oh gosh, what was it? In Dallas here. It was like the big
CPAC?
conservative CPAC. I met him at CPAC. And he was up there with Brandon Straka. And I was like, ugh. Because I don't like him. You know, there's something slimy about him to me. And I don't know what it is, right? But we were talking about this before the show started, Suni and I. And I know that people are excited about him because they're like, oh, he's a savage. He's going to expose everything. He's going to like
Yeah.
release all this stuff. And I'm like, that's fine, right? If that's what you guys are here for, I'm here for it too. You know, Mo loves a good, juicy moment. But
Mhm.
I also need you to get some serious shit done. Okay, Kash. I need you to get some serious shit done. Like aside from like the releasing of all the files and all the juice, like I'm here for all that, honey. I am here. Like
Yeah.
do that your first couple weeks, have some fun. Okay,
Yeah.
give us all the tea, but then I need heads to roll. Okay.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
I mean, here's
What's
an
up, girl?
example. Benny Johnson, you know. What's
Mhm.
up, Red Pill? So Benny
What up,
Johnson,
ladies?
which is clearly the people's voice on the right. You know,
Yeah.
anybody, if you see anybody sharing information, it normally comes to Benny Johnson, right? So he
Can't stand him
reposted
either.
this and said, reasons why, neither can I. Reasons why Kash Patel must become FBI director, Exhibit A. And this is Kash Patel on social media. Now, I think this is cringe for a potential FBI director to be doing. I just do.
Mhm.
When was the last time you snorted some crack, paid multiple women for sex, one of which was your dead brother's wife, then slept with her sister while having them on the payroll, capturing it all on camera, all while snorting through classified docs dad stole, which you used to get 7-figure contracts from American enemies. Oh yeah, and unlawfully obtaining a firearm, got away with it all. Only if your name's Hunter, got a dad called Joe, hashtag government gangsters, 2-tier justice, let you slide. All right. Is
It's a
that
little
impressive to you?
Listen, this is why Benny Johnson reposted that, because all Benny Johnson sees when he sees Kash Patel in this position
Views.
is content,
For sure.
right? And it's kind of like the Doge thing. Like, I'm excited about Doge, but I think people need to understand that they're just a committee that's going to make recommendations. They actually have no power, right? Now, Kash Patel has power. I need him to wield that power. And by posting stuff like this, you're already kind of like, I get what you're trying to do. Like, you're trying to be like, ooh, you're about to get burned. Like, I'm savage. Fine. But I need to know that you're serious. This is a serious job.
Right.
We have 4 years to clean up a huge mess
Right.
in the FBI. You like, if you already know who the deep state is, okay, I need to see all their letters of resignation posted.
Drop
If you
that.
want to be savage, drop the letters of
Drop that.
resignation. Mhm.
Yep.
Yep,
So
that's what I want
let
to
me
see.
just defend my pick real quick. So
Okay.
with Kash Patel, you guys know how I felt about Vivek. But I've been following Cash for a long time, and during Trump's first presidency, he was a huge part of discovering the whole Russia collusion hoax, right? Um, and he used to, work in the FBI. He also was huge in the J6 hearings with defending the people who were they're hostages now, apparently. So with that, he's very smart when it comes to the law, when it comes to the Constitution. He was born in New York. He does not have an accent. He identifies as American. Like,
So Vivek fits all of those qualities.
Vivek is also a huge, big pharma guy, right? Like, Cash has been with the smoke for a long time. Like,
He has.
you can find videos of Cash like putting it all out there. And as for his statement that Benny Johnson just posted, I feel like that's a realist, right? Like, that's how we speak when Hunter got his pardon. Because Hunter got away with a lot of things. And even today, the California Attorney General went after Joe Biden, which is crazy because Bonta is a huge Democrat supporter, right? So, and then Suni, you just showed me this, and I don't watch Fox News at all. This was kind of scary. I had a breakdown with my husband today, and I was like, I don't know what we're doing right now. Maybe I should stick to no curry.
Just go play the clip.
Oh
We will
god.
shut off the machinery that feeds money.
Come on. What is up with Twitter, man? Jeez.
Shut off the machinery that feeds money.
Dog. It really doesn't want to play.
What was that from yesterday?
That was a couple days ago.
Oh, okay.
It won't let me play it. Maybe if I send it to you, Mo, you can play it.
Yeah, you can try.
All right. Now look, I'm not saying the guy's not going to come in and do his job. He could come in and do all of it. I'm saying I'm going to be realistic. And when people, I'm going to steal your words from you. When people show you who they are, you're supposed to believe them. So I believe all of these people that are coming out with a very much so not America first sentiment or agenda.
Yeah, Suni, I will tell you that video I had never seen, and that was kind of scary when he was like, we need to put Israel first, and that was kind of scary because anybody saying that I can't support you, we need to put Americans first, period, full stop.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, I have it here. And I think it's gonna play. Hold on 1 second.
Yay.
We will shut off the machinery that feeds money into Iran. We will no longer have 100 hostages still in captivity, Israeli and American and otherwise, by Hamas and Iran's Hezbollah mercenary forces. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our number one ally in Israel. We will.
I'm sick of hearing that.
Last time I checked, this is America, and we're not bringing Israelis home here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to harp on Israel, but when you see your elected officials repeatedly mention this country over you a lot of the times,
it's gotta cause some thought. Yeah.
come on.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Come on. Andrew Clavin says all Christians should have a dual loyalty to Israel because Jesus was born there. Like,
So does that mean that they should stop holding gay pride parades there as well?
listen, man.
You know, people are always accusing Ben of having dual loyalty. They're accusing Jews, but Ben as being a king of the Jews. They accuse him of-
Lowercase k.
It occurs to me that we should all have a dual loyalty to Israel because it is the place that God hallowed with his presence, and it is like still the
It's Holy Land, right? It seems like anytime you want to criticize or anytime you want to call out anything with these people, they immediately run to, well, this is the Holy Land and Jesus was born here and he was also a Jew. So because he was a Jew, there's no way you can dislike what I'm doing because I'm a Jew just like he was. Who cares? Not when your country has crazy practices such as abortion and LGBTQ going on. You got people arguing whether they can stick up people's rectums. Like, are you listening to the discussions that are happening over there?
Suni, I think those people who say that are the same people who don't read the Bible and read the New Testament specifically when Paul was like, you know, these people are doing evil things and you can't even eat with them, right? So when we talk about the land, I think you have to separate the land from the people. I pray for the peace of Israel, but I'm not beholden to their government. And I think that's what these American elected officials have done is they've been beholden to their government, which is wrong. And a lot of Christians have been indoctrinated with the Schofield Bible that we need to always support. You cannot support the synagogue of Satan. You can't.
I disagree with you. Sorry, I'm trying to type something really quick. Anyways, I think it's important to look at the picks. I think it's important to look at their history. I think it's important to look at how they view foreign policy. Secretary of State, Department of Defense. I think all those departments are extremely important to pay attention to. And the first thing out of their mouth is Iran and Israel and Hamas. That should signal some red flags for you because as far as I'm concerned, Trump is a peacetime president. I'm expecting peace from him. But that tweet on Truth Social that he put out scared the living daylights out of me. One, because I know he's serious. I don't think Trump's going to mess around. If you don't do what he's asking, he said there will be hell to pay in the Middle East. Like, what does that mean for home?
Right.
What does that mean for anyone who's enlisted? And people can say that I'm going further than necessary, but we all lived through 9/11 and the fallout of that. That was 20 years of a war. Literally. Thousands of people dead. Crazy stuff going on. Deployments, all of it. Do we really want to go through that again over a conflict that has nothing to do with us?
Yeah.
Nothing. And I get that there are they're calling them American Israelis. If they go to answer that nation's call to go fight, why is that our responsibility to seek retribution on their behalf? That's that country's, that's their situation.
And we've been doing it for years. We've been doing it for years. Every single war we've ever gotten involved in, one has to ask that. Like even my dad, who was in the Marines, okay, for over 30 years, he said, I sit here and question what the hell did I go and fight for? Like,
Yeah.
like all the times I had to leave my family, go away on deployment. Then he had a job, with the State Department and was involved in stuff there. So it's like, it's pretty sad. It's pretty
Yeah.
sad. And there's lots of information that you can read, lots of books that you can read that will really make you question what we fight all these wars for.
Yeah. People get a little, people get a little bothered when you criticize Trump. Not even a criticism of Trump, but you say, okay, this doesn't really make much sense to me. Like what's happening here? Why do we need to do this? And if people want to know what post I'm talking about, I'll pull it up here in a minute. It just seems like an overreaction to what's been happening for a year now. Off and on, we've seen them firing back and forth, oftentimes admitting when they have hit a hospital and then blamed that these people use women and children as human shields. We got to hear that for a full year.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including Candace Owens, myself, questioned the number of women and children that were currently being unalived in comparison to army age or military aged young men. It's starting to look weird. It's starting to look weird. So I'm hoping that this is just Trump with the Twitter fingers. I'm hoping, but I know this guy's serious. And he said there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East and for those who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity. I can see potentially something popping off over that because I think all these countries are just looking for a reason. I do.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to be successful at beating us? Probably not. But I don't want to see lives lost over it at all.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
even
want to go to a war.
I don't even think it's sometimes is about who wins the war. It's just getting over there and doing whatever else they want to do. You know what I mean? Like it's not about who's going to win and who's going to beat us because we already know nobody has that power,
Right.
but it's the excuse to go to another country for whatever reason.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what's in the forefront of my mind because I think of Bush.
Yes.
I was a little kid. I was 11, 12. I was young, but I'm attached to my family. I'm from a military family. My sister deployed twice to Kuwait, and she didn't come back right. My cousin deployed twice, clearing out Saddam Hussein's mansions back then. He was in the Air Force. He didn't come back right. My uncle served multiple tours in Desert Storm. He didn't come back right. So I can see the effects of what this does, and it scares me. I'm not going to lie to you. It really scares me. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping it's just him being Twitter fingers and he tries to find a diplomatic solution. And if he doesn't, then can't say he didn't warn you, I guess.
Yeah.
What are we going to say?
And maybe they'll release the hostages and there will be no issue.
Maybe.
I mean,
I hope they do.
I'm willing to bet that that's what it is because I think people know that Trump is not the F around and find out type of guy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's rough and retiring scares me, but I'm ready. Yeah. I hear a lot of people say that, but I hear a lot of people say, I'm not going to war over that. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But on the same subject, just a different avenue. Or do you have something?
No, you might be on the same thing. Go ahead.
Implosion over at Daily Wire. Do you guys remember when Steven Crowder called this out?
Wait, if you're a fan of the show, you cannot say we didn't talk about this because we spent a lot of time talking about this, okay? Because it was first that, and then it was like the Steven Crowder divorce. So we had like a Steven Crowder like standing topic, okay?
We really did for a lot of 2024.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Stephen Crowder, you made your mark on this show, man.
Yes, you did.
I just want to say I had your back, cuz
Yes, you did.
I was
was
over
back
here
and
by
forth.
myself, 10 toes down.
I was back and forth on your ass, Steven, because I'm not a Steven Crowder fan. But then I was like, when the divorce happened, then I was like on Team Steven.
Yeah.
And then on the Candace Daily Wire thing, I was like, you're being a little bit of a bitch, But now it's looking a little and here, okay, before you go into the story, and I want people to think about this, is when you see what Suni is about to present, my next question is Candace, which I doubt she will because it's Daily Wire and it's Steven Crowder, and I think he slapped her with a cease and desist to not even mention his name. But she's all about calling out Daily Wire, and Brett Cooper is a really good friend of hers. So my question is Candace going to backtrack on what she said about Steven Crowder or acknowledge that he may have been right?
She needs to.
Yeah.
She needs to. A lot of people need to.
And all the other people. Yeah. I was about to say.
A lot of people need to. Because I remember watching people's content. Oh, he's just money hungry. Ooh, sorry. That 7-Up just went right through me.
Yeah. Suni's been burping up a storm.
I remember saying it was about the contracts and how it was unfair for folks who could not negotiate. So I'm going to let you guys watch this video. This is an updated incident that's happening over at Daily Wire.
Brett Cooper fans, I just got a source very close to the Daily Wire who told me that Brett Cooper is out. She is leaving the Daily Wire and the situation is very hostile.
And it's kind of weird because she's still doing her show right now.
So here are some of the notes that I took. Like I said, the situation is hostile, and apparently she is not allowed to speak about this publicly. A possible gag order, maybe, allegedly. Wouldn't be at all shocked if that was the case, though, given what happened to Candace Owens when she left the Daily Wire earlier this year.
Doing some digging online, and apparently some people are speculating that maybe she's pregnant.
I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently it's not related to why she wants to leave.
Also, it looks like the Daily Wire is trying to clone some kind of blonde version of Brett.
Welcome back to the comment section. I am producer Reagan, filling in for Brett again this Friday, and today is a big day.
I don't know what they're trying to do there, but it's a little weird, right? They also told me that the Daily Wire is in huge financial trouble. Apparently, they're massively overspending on projects. $66 million on Pendragon, which I guess is coming soon.
Oh, and she's also supposed to be doing this Snow White thing next year. I am not sure if this is still happening.
The last thing, Jeremy Boring, he is the CEO of the Daily Wire. Allegedly, he's been bugging the office, spying on people. I guess the vibes there are super not good right now. And just for the record, I don't know Brett at all, but if all this is true, given everything that I've just been told and everything I know about what happened to Candace Owens, 6 months ago, the Daily Wire, they are not nice people. So definitely, if you like Brett, go out, support her, because it's going to be some rough waters ahead.
He's funny.
Who's this guy?
I liked his video. His name is James Lee. So I liked his video because it was short and to the point versus Ian Carroll, right? Because Ian talks a lot, man. He makes 10-minute videos.
Dude,
well, he does his research.
He does do his sometimes. He told a whole false story about the whole Tim Waltz victim. And then he had to come back out. I was like, bro, y'all hopped on this.
But at least he came back out, because even I hopped on that. But at least he came back out and said I was wrong.
Of course, I give him his credit.
Yeah.
So this is the other half of what happened over at the Daily Wire.
I think the Daily Wire might be about to collapse. My buddy James just got a scoop from an inside source that Brett Cooper is getting pushed out of the Daily Wire, and there's this whole crazy contract thing. And I just got word from a source at the Daily Wire that Brett is not the only big name that is on the way out at Daily Wire. We're going to cover the Snow White movie, Pendragon, a lot about Jeremy Boring, the self-proclaimed God King of the Daily Wire. But I think the place to start is with this super controversial video from Steven Crowder from a year ago, where he turned down a $50 million contract from the Daily Wire. Bloomberg reported that Crowder complained that they weren't going to pay him enough, but that is not what Crowder was claiming.
Because it's not about the money. It's kind of unreal to me that the only thing these people can still talk about is the money. The conversation was about conservatism, the movement, and big tech. They keep talking about money. I'm talking about a country. I'm talking about a movement. I'm talking about making a difference. It's not about the money, and Jeremy and the Daily Wire know that.
So to sum it up, he was explaining how the contracts had clauses in them that the Daily Wire creators would get penalized severely if they were flagged by YouTube for content that didn't go with community guidelines, thereby tying all of their content to big tech censorship. And so if you were a content creator at the Daily Wire and you signed this contract, you'd have to censor yourself to go along with YouTube. You would be beholden to all of big tech's censorship regime, which is inherently destructive to the truth. And so Crowder turned him down because he rightly identified that we need to make a model that is immune to big tech censorship. And then he played this clip of audio from Jeremy Boring's phone call.
They don't get deals that
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand. They can be wage slaves for a little bit. They can be wage slaves for a little bit.
Now,
Wage
does everybody
slave.
remember when Candace said, you're recording your friends, how dare you, this is trust, you're supposed to, not if you're doing poor business deals. Now, I thought this story was interesting because I remember saying that there is going to be an implosion in the conservative movement. And we saw elements of it with Candace. We saw elements of it with Steven Crowder here.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's more people leaving, agitated with the Daily Wire. But there was also something else that really caught my attention. The Daily Wire is having a 47% off of their subscription model.
AKA going out of business sale.
47%. Oh, I gotta find it.
That's a going
When
out
I
of business
seen
sale.
that ad, I said 47%.
Just go to their
Are you
website.
I'm about to go to it right now. Are you
Yeah.
struggling that bad?
Mm-hmm. Girl, that's going out of business type numbers right there. That's we trying to clear the shelves right there. Dang.
That's
mean-
more than a Black Friday deal, man.
Yeah, that's a Black Friday deal. Why are we getting no Are you seeing any comments like on our Somewhere in the Middle?
I don't.
That's weird. Can you guys comment if you're listening on Somewhere in the Middle? Because I haven't seen any comments pop up lately. But you know, it's interesting. But then I think about it, and it's like, okay, they're Jews, right? They're just gonna like close shop and then like rebrand and open up as something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like they will survive.
They're Jews.
They're Jews.
Oh
That's
my
what they're going to do.
God.
I mean, they're Jews and they're businessmen, right? Like business people do that. Like that's what they do. They rebrand, reopen something else. You know, Brett's probably going to go over to Candace's platform and Candace is going to be like, how about I have you on my platform and you do like an interview once you cut ties with Daily Wire and we'll
Yeah.
talk shit about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look. Hold on, my bad. It's all over the place. I'm just taking you to different websites. 47% off
Wow.
with these
Buy now,
verified,
pay later.
active in December 2024. Buy now, pay later. Let's go back. It's on their Facebook. I
Yeah.
just clicked on it. Get 47% off of Daily Wire plus annual. Fight with your
That's so
wallet.
crazy.
This has been going on since
Vote with your
July
wallet.
16, 2024. Right now, they're offering Cyber Week 50% off of annual memberships. 50% off, bro.
What is there to subscribe to? Like their content, like I'm thinking, what are the other big names? Because he said there's other big names that are leaving. Like what other big names are there? Jordan Peterson, is he with the Daily Wire?
I don't know. Well, yeah, Jordan Peterson is there.
Let me see.
What's his name? Matt Walsh is there.
Yeah. That's
He might
Candace's
be on
kid's
his way out.
godson or godfather. Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson. Hold on.
48-hour sale, 20%. They're having so many discounts, bro.
Oh my God. Did you go to their website?
47% off. This is our website. This is look, I'll go all
Oh,
the way
that is
up.
their website. Okay.
This
okay,
is
never mind.
thedailywire.com. Let's see how much it costs.
Okay, so this is who they have. Andrew Klavan, we just talked about him. Michael
Yeah.
Knowles, Matt Walsh, Brett Cooper, Jordan Peterson, and Ben. Now
Yeah.
he's just going by Ben. Now he doesn't need Shapiro. He dropped the Shapiro. He's just Ben.
Look at this, dude. $7.
Wow.
$7 a month.
It's a steal.
$15 a month for an insider. They took off you don't get the year free service of Daily Wire Kids. Go all in with all access, right? $11 a month. It was $21.
Wow. Hang out with your favorite host during live Q&A. I mean, at the end of the day, once those things, P.S., this is like a little tip for you guys. Once the episode airs, you can actually find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't really need to subscribe.
You really don't need to subscribe. I don't think I only subscribed to watch Candace's BLM expose. That was and I never went back to watch anything else.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to.
It's boring.
They're boring.
They're boring to me. They always were boring. Like even when Candace was there, her content got a little boring for me.
Yeah, because she was talking. She wasn't talking about anything. I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, all of her topics are the same, and
Yeah.
they're boring. She's not really talking about anything. It got interesting when she started talking about the Brigitte woman,
Macron. Mm-hmm.
but before then, Candace wouldn't talk about nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any topics?
Steven, like call your lawyer and tell him to temporarily lift all the like cease and desist hush, things that you have on people so they can talk about this shit, because the problem is you hushed everybody up, so now nobody can talk about it. Nobody can say your name. Like you kind of, you know what I mean? He's the only one that can talk about it.
He needs to. He really didn't have to do any talking once those court documents came out.
Yeah.
And we all got to see it for what it was and found out that she had these recordings, and we all know who leaked them. And then Candace went and got it from the blog, and then everybody wanted to hop on. Notice how nobody said anything else after that.
And notice how, remember Candace also said that she was like in talks, like she was talking to Hillary. Like Hillary never wanted to come on your show to like expand on anything. You know what's funny? This is what a savage Steven is. So he posted on Twitter. I wish I could find it, but he had posted on Twitter. He's like, anybody who said money can't buy happiness never paid for a divorce. I was like, God. So apparently, I mean, he must be done. I mean, his divorce must be final. He said anybody who said she was a headache. Okay.
She was a real headache.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny though. Not the divorce is funny, but that's funny though, because she did the most. And then you notice how she tried to like, I couldn't imagine being famous and then having my husband just do me dirty and go on the media and try to do interviews about how bad of a person he thinks I am, questioning my motherhood and if I'm there for my kids in the right capacity, like trying to literally get fame off of someone else's name, bro. That's wild.
Yep. I agree.
That's wild.
That's wild. Well, I wanted to talk about the pardon with you. So,
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, he pardoned his son Hunter. Now, I'm here to say Mo was wrong because I thought it was going to be Trump that pardoned him. You guys know that I was like 10 toes down on this, and I thought he was going to be the one to pardon him. So let's just recap here all the times that Biden said he wasn't going to pardon him.
Let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
You have.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Mr. President, do you plan on reviewing the
Good evening. We are coming on the air with breaking news tonight. President Biden has made a decision to pardon his son Hunter ahead of the transfer of power to President-elect Donald Trump, according to a senior White House official with direct knowledge of the decision.
All right. So he decided to pardon him after all. And you know, I want to talk about what you think.
Do you want to have a sensationalized conversation with me, or do you want an honest
No.
conversation with me?
A little bit of both. Clearly, this is me
You
you're
want a little
talking
bit of
to.
both?
Yeah.
All right. I think Joe Biden just pardoned himself. I don't think it has anything to do with his son. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that he wants, you know, to hide what his son has going on.
Yeah.
I think his son holds the keys to everything, and he knows that. So he said,
Yeah.
You're a liability, okay? So let's pardon you. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. There is nothing more to this. And anybody who actually believed Joe Biden, go kick rocks.
Yeah. And you hear everybody like, oh, I think, you know, he's behaving like a father. And, you know, the father side of him said, this is my boy. I can't let him go to jail. I can't let him suffer. Like they're trying to humanize this decision when what you guys, I have said 1,000 times, please go read the book, My Son Hunter. You guys need to start listening to my book recommendations because it all in there are Hunter's own words about how he felt about his father. He hates his father. His father thinks he's a headache, just like Suni said. He's a liability for him. He's always been a liability between the crack and the hookers and the problems and the legal issues. You know, Hunter was no Beau Biden. Okay, Beau Biden was the token golden child. He sadly passed away, and they were left with Hunter. And Hunter was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the right thing for my family, and I'm gonna sleep with Beau's wife. Okay. And they were like, geez, Hunter, geez, this is like a real messy situation. You know, that whole family is a mess. Okay.
Yep.
And Suni is 1,000% right. This has nothing to do with his love for his son. This has to do
Nothing.
with him wanting to protect himself, because I guarantee you that pardon came with a lot of conditions, honey.
All the way back to 2014. Now look,
Mm-hmm.
this is my page. Go all the way up. You see this hot mic.
Yep.
Okay. Go watch this episode. Quid pro Dro. I spent an hour playing the recordings of him and Poroshenko talking nonstop about firing a prosecutor in return for a $1 billion loan guarantee. There is a video of Joe Biden sitting on a stage bragging about this. The Ukrainian officials showed documentation and bank statements. They showed the emails, all of it. This man just secured himself. This ain't got nothing to do with Hunter. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go watch that episode.
You guys definitely should. We should link it. Send me the link to that episode. And I'll link it in this video so people can watch it. Listen, if you haven't been watching The View lately, The View, they've lost their minds. Okay. They don't know what to think anymore. Listen, all of a sudden they're like on completely different pages now. I'm like, wait a minute. Alyssa, who I think her name is Alyssa, the brunette one who's supposed to be conservative, but she voted for Kamala Harris. What the fuck?
Like a weirdo.
Yeah, all of a sudden now she's having this like awakening of all these thoughts, you know, like she doesn't agree with Joe. And she's like, well, it should be okay for us to question why he would lie about saying he wasn't going to pardon him. And now he did pardon him. It should be. And Sunny, she's sticking to her guns, man. It's to the point like where they have had to go to commercial break because smoke is about to come out of Sunny's ears. She's so irate at
Do
like
you have
Alyssa.
clips? Please tell me you have clips.
I'd have to look for them. I'd have to look for them, and I will look for them. But yeah, we need to like definitely watch that, and you guys need to start watching The View because they are like imploding on themselves.
My husband
Literally.
mentioned The View today. It's funny that you mentioned it. He said,
He
man,
did?
Whoopi Goldberg has been trying to play the middle ground, but she
Yeah.
can't because she's been psychopathic for the past 4 years. And he's like,
Yeah.
I think she might be on her way up out of there. We were definitely talking about that this morning.
I agree
Yeah.
because I think Whoopi has been going through some health issues too, and
Yeah.
she's just like riding this through the election. But I think like this is like the perfect time for her to be like, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I'm sick of these bitches. Like I sit here and just play referee. That's all she does.
Yeah.
When she's not there, because there's a lot of times Whoopi's not there, the panel is just like
It's a free for all.
a
You know
free-for-all.
what, Mo?
What?
We could totally do The View.
Oh God, they would never.
Why not?
Sudi,
That show would have hella ratings if we were on there.
They would lose.
That's good. Let them lose their minds on us while we just sit there and laugh.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Could you imagine doing a show with those women every
No.
week?
No.
Multiple times a week?
Like, they're like, yes. I mean, for sure the ratings would go up, I'm sure, because we would just cause problems. You know what I mean? Well, you would cause problems. You would be there. That would be your dream job, because your job would literally be to get under people's skin for a living.
Yeah.
And that's what you excel at. You excel at that. I wanted to play, and I haven't watched this yet, but this has been like trending on social media. But Jon Stewart apparently had a message for the Democrats in regards to Hunter Biden and this pardon. So let's listen to this really quick.
Hypocrisy isn't illegal, nor is it particularly unusual in politics. It's not like he's ever going to run again. So why not take care of your kid? Even if you said you weren't gonna. I respect it. I don't have a problem with it. The problem is the rest of the Democrats made Biden's pledge to not pardon Hunter the foundation of their defense of America, this grand experiment.
One political party remains committed to the rule of law and the other doesn't. It's that simple.
Hunter Biden's not above the law. No one is above the law. Democrats stand for the rule of law.
We accept the outcome because that's how the rule of law works.
Because the justice system that convicted his only surviving son is the same justice system he's vowed to protect. And if that doesn't tell you who Joe Biden is, I don't really know what does.
I think I know what does. And now look at the dance Democrats have to do.
Be honest. The only reason why they went after Hunter the way they did, and I've talked to many federal prosecutors about this, is because he's the president's son.
People have to remember the president has lost 2 children already, and he does not need to lose another one to more political witch hunts.
The, crowing from Republicans, but we're talking about, Donald Trump is a convicted felon who literally pardoned his daughter's father-in-law and just made him ambassador to France.
So for anyone that wants to clutch their pearls now because he decided that he was going to pardon his son, I would say take a look in the mirror.
Ma'am, we will take a look in that mirror, but we are taking off. So if you could just put this shit on airplane mode.
That was Jasmine Crockett. She was on a plane giving that interview. But I mean, he's so right that they now have to do this like dance. And at this point, like there ain't shit they can say anymore. They're still trying to play the Republicans nominated a felon. No. Let's take a look at the crime. Okay, let's take a look at the crime. It ain't the same.
Let's
And
take
all
a look at the
cases
fact
are
that they keep pushing that case back. And Trump's legal team is actively telling them they need to toss it. You don't have anything to prosecute this guy on. He was not convicted. What are you talking? Convicted of what? Mental illness is real, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the camera for that one. Mental illness is real in this country. These people are crazy.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm right there with you. That's another expectation I have for him. If he doesn't pardon all those people after all this information has come out, I'm looking at you sideways, brother.
Right. Oh my gosh, man, what a mess. What a mess. There was a video that I saw and it was like so funny. Hold on. It was just like a mashup that they did of like all the Hunter Biden like videos and like pictures and images. I mean, I won't show it here because it's bad, but you know, like when you hear the Democrats making excuses for them and then you look at this video, you're like, nah, it ain't the same. It ain't the same
Well,
as
the
Trump.
fact that he admitted that he would be looking through the carpet for crack. You remember
Right.
that interview he did?
Yes. 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 No, there was worse stuff in that book that I'm telling you. My son Hunter. There was worse stuff in that book. I don't know. Like they're just a hot mess. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. Eric Adams, he's definitely been promised a pardon if he gets into some type of legal trouble by Trump. I knew it when I saw him at the Ed Smith dinner or whatever the hell that dinner is that they all go to. And Trump was like, "Hey, Eric,
got you,
they're
bro."
putting yeah.
He said, I got you. Listen,
I got you.
you tell the truth. I'll
The
handle the
Parmesan
rest."
cheese. Oh, he's the Parmesan cheese.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh. That was a good
interview
one.
Bro, that interview was freaking bananas, man. I
I miss
remember
those
reacting
days.
to that like, what do we live? This is not America.
Yeah.
This is not America. But shout out to Eric Adams. He is sticking it to the left and telling them they can kiss it where the sun don't shine.
Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that,
Open to
hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with ICE.
Let me. You know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Google what they said about those who commit crimes in our city and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away.
Yep.
That was their position. So this is not a new position, because in the state of in the era of cancel culture, no one's afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me, because I'm going to protect the people of this city. And if you come into this country, in this city, and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants and asylum seekers, this is not the mayor you want to be in the city under.
Ooh, I wish I had the air horns.
See, like if I was in the crowd, I'd be like, where was this Eric Adams like last year? Because you were acting like a whole different person. Like, tell us the tea. Like, what was really going on behind? I know what was going on. Listen,
What was happening, brother?
I think they set that brother up. Okay. I think they set him up. All that shit that came out about money that he was like supposedly spending of his campaign. That's exactly what they do when you stop playing their game. All of a sudden, all this shit comes out. You got kitty porn on your laptop. You know what it is? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what's his name? Like, what's his name? The weirdo that had that weird stuff on his laptop. What was his name?
Who?
You brought him up a couple shows ago. He was like a
did?
congressman or something.
Oh,
He
I
was
think I
like-
remember what you. I think I know.
He
Who,
was-
I can't remember his name.
He was like on a gay website.
Mark Robinson.
Yes, Mark Robinson.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we got breaking news, y'all.
What
We
was
got
that?
breaking news. All right. President-elect Trump is considering Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as possible replacement for Pete Hegseth for a Secretary
Why?
of Defense.
Why? What's wrong with Pete? What's wrong with Pete? Did he have some scandal?
Apparently, the women are coming out of the woodwork saying he essayed them. Now the people are coming out and saying he's abusive and he did all these things. Yeah, they're ordering Fannie Willis to release recordings or something like that. That looks. Listen,
Oh yeah,
bro.
we're gonna talk about all that. Listen, wait. Let me say this. I need to look into that. Okay. I don't know much about Pete Hegseth, but I don't like
Yeah,
the replacement option. I'm gonna tell
I
you
don't
right now.
either.
That is suspect to me. Okay, there's two
DeSantis?
ways to look at this. There's two ways to look at this. Either we're impressed with how quickly Trump is kind of changing up people and going, okay, he's not messing around like last time where he like put people in place and then just kept them there. He's like making moves on the chessboard, right? Or we're like, are the original people he put up there weren't the real players to begin with, and it was all just to get people
That's what,
riled up and then,
bro. This
right?
is what I've been thinking the entire time. I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of afraid to say it because I've been getting attacked left and right with people.
Mhm.
You're liberal, you're this. I'm like, no, I'm thinking. This is what I'm doing. I'm actively thinking. I'm not just being
Yeah.
a mindless drone. The only real pick I think he is selected is Marco Rubio and Linda McMahon.
Yeah.
Maybe the ambassador to the UN and maybe Mike Huckabee.
Yeah.
All these other picks, they feel like a celebrity's dream team. It feels like a pipe dream, and it just doesn't feel realistic.
Like I said, it's either really impressive, whatever he's about to do, or what the fuck? The fuck? The fuck challenge on TikTok? That's what I'm gonna say. The fuck? Right. That's weird.
It's
I'm gonna read
5D
into
chess,
that.
yo. Hey man, listen.
Please, can we not say that this year?
This is why I've been off of social media. This right here. I haven't
Good for
posted, I
you.
haven't done anything. No, because my commentary is gonna be what it is with you.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, these picks are not realistic. And you know how people get.
Yeah.
Why do you have to take us off the positivity train? We want to stay blind and stay stuck on stupid and then be shocked when Congress doesn't confirm these people.
Yeah.
Come
And now
on.
they're getting background checks. So, you know, maybe that's part of it too, is he did sign off on their background checks because they have to get those. So which I'm like, how the hell did any of Biden's picks pass a background check? Number one. But number two, maybe the background checks are starting to come up with some red flags. I don't know. And if that's the case, what are you doing? You know, here's my thing. Cause P asked me the other day, he was like, hey Mo, what do you think about, because P's very like middle ground. He's not like pro Trump or, you know, he's like you, he's pro God.
Yeah.
And he said, what do you think about Trump's picks? And I said, you know, I'll be honest with you. I'm the latest ones, like the ones that came after the first few. I was like, the first few came out and I was like, yes. Some other ones came out and I was like, wait. And now I'm just like, let me just reserve my judgment until we get closer to the confirmation. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to like waste my energy. I'm observing.
Yeah. That's smart. I mean, that's actually probably the smartest thing to do. Because
Yeah.
you keep yourself on it's fun for me because it's like watching a football game. It's like watching the draft. I'm going to stay
Right.
up all night to watch the draft.
Right.
Who's getting put here, who's getting put here. I want to see what's going on here. Right? So
Yeah.
and when you're considering all these picks, you don't know which round these people are going to go. It's all projected.
Right.
Now, are we going to be happy with the selections and the picks? I don't know.
I don't know.
The initial short list that comes out, they feel good. You're like, all right, these people are going to get in office and do something.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, the pessimist in me is just like, don't even let yourself get comfortable with that idea. Be realistic.
Well, so the person that could potentially replace DeSantis in Florida is the guy that what's his name? Scary eyebrows. Matt Gates. Matt Gates. Yeah, he's the potential.
He dropped out.
person. Oh, he didn't. Well, he dropped out of that, but I'm saying for the replace DeSantis in Florida.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, because that's what Merlandon's asking, right?
Oh, who will replace DeSantis? Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, listen, y'all. We gonna see.
It's gonna be interesting.
I want Christmas to come and go. This month is dragging. Anybody else feel like December is dragging?
No, I don't want this month to come and
It's
go.
only December 3rd.
Yeah.
Come on.
Marlandon is trying to know all the people and who's going to be where. I don't know. We don't know, Marlandon. You know what? This would be a great opportunity for people to come in and like new blood, young blood
Yeah.
up, and you know what I mean?
See, Birdman, you feel me? It is dragging. I'm like, January 20th, where you at? We need to see what you're doing on day one. I'm sick
Mhm.
of waiting. You're the president. What you gonna do? All this
I know.
up in the air crap. And one thing that really bothered me was I don't know if you've seen this. There was an article that came out that said Trump plans to ban the transgenders that are in the
Mhm.
military, and I'm like,
Mhm. Yeah.
finally get them
Yeah.
out, right? And then Trump's team says, first of all, that's conspiracy, that's speculation. We haven't talked about it. And I'm like, bro, Trump was fighting to get rid of don't ask, don't tell.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
You cannot enlist if you have all of these extra activities going on that make you non-deployable to begin
Right.
with, because when you're
Right.
actively receiving all that care, it's considered a medical condition.
Yeah.
They need to go, bro.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's scaring me, because he made remember the Rainbow Coalition that I've ragged about nonstop, and I'm like, bro, y'all need to look into the log cabin Republicans. I
Mhm.
guarantee you that relationship is going to show its face when it comes to the DOD and what they do and don't allow.
Yeah.
Bet
Dude,
money.
my dad said that every time he's gone up to Washington at the FBI and CIA building, well, mainly at the FBI, he's like, it's like a freaking freak show up there. He's like, they literally accept anybody, like they can dress however they, it's like there literally used to be like a dress code, and now it's like a freaking hot mess. He's like, it's
Let's
just,
see if I can find this video for you.
it's crazy. Hey, up next, don't go anywhere, guys, because I want to talk about Juicy Smollett. His shit was overturned.
What?
His conviction was overturned. Yes, and I want to talk about it. But yes, and to remind you, we're going to give you a little bit of entertainment because I had to refresh my memory on the brothers. You guys remember the brothers, the Bola? I think they were Ab and Bola brothers, the two African guys that actually conducted the attack on Juicy. They came out with a reenactment. We're gonna laugh a little bit because I was watching. I was watching it again, and I was just like, dude, what a gauntlet we've come through. Like, you know what I mean? Between this and J6 and Hunter Biden and transgenders, like we have been through the ringer. Okay, COVID. Like we have really been through some shit, you guys.
Yes.
And rewatching this video of the brothers that attacked Juicy just reminded me of like what a shit show we live in. So yeah, stay tuned because we're gonna play that, but soon he's gonna play another video.
I want y'all to watch this CIA recruitment video. This was probably from like 3 years ago. I remember doing shows
Oh, I
on
remember. I remember this. Yep.
Feels to be colored me in my college application essay. The line that spoke to me stated simply, I am not tragically colored. There is no sorrow dammed up in my soul nor lurking behind my eyes. I do not mind at all. At 17, I had no idea what life would bring, but Sora's sentiment articulated so beautifully how I felt as a daughter of immigrants then and now. Nothing about me was or is tragic. I am perfectly made. I can wax eloquent on complex legal issues in English while also belting Guayaquil de mis amores in Spanish. I can change a diaper with one hand and console a crying toddler with the other. I am a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional.
Who cares?
But my existence is not a box-checking exercise. I am a walking declaration. A woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not.
Bro, I can't watch it all.
Who, like, this is my
By the
like,
way,
I remember
this is from the Central Intelligence Agency YouTube. I'm not making this up.
Yeah. And like I just said, my dad has confirmed it's a shit show up there because of the shit. Like, who cares? Who cares that you can belt out whatever song you just said and then, you know, that you can change a diaper? What does that have to do with your job? Like, did you
Wait,
go in there and
most
interview and say
importantly,
that?
Mo, she just admitted that she is a liability working in the CIA. This is somebody that is prone to anxiety. Doesn't
Right.
that make her a threat?
Yes. How did you
You
pass
could
your
potentially sell secrets.
right? How did you like? I want to know how she passed her background check, and that background check has to be taken every couple of years. Like, and it's like a whole assessment, like where they hook you up to a friggin' machine. Like, yeah, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you did that. I see, Cash. This is what you need to be doing. This is the type of shit you need to be taking care of straight away.
Here's one more.
I wanted to be a librarian the first time I set foot in a library. I was always a little different, even at that age, and libraries offered a safe, quiet space where I could find tens of thousands of escapes into worlds of fantasy, mystery, and intrigue. After finishing college, I entered the workforce as a middle school librarian, where I was able to bring that dream full circle and match my students with the perfect books. Now, I get to experience that same type of fulfillment in a very different way here at CIA. I love my job because I have no idea what type of research question is coming through the door next. It might be as simple as an HR officer needing to clarify a law, or as complex as an analyst needing to help identify something they saw in a video still. There's something incredibly rewarding about knowing you are having a very real impact of potentially global proportions. As an agency librarian, I work to ensure that our collection and services are matched up with what CIA needs. Not only am I involved in the acquisitions of journals, books, and countless electronic resources, I'm also encouraged to curate special collections that challenge expectation.
Give me a break.
Gay.
And I still have no idea what it is you do there.
He's a fucking librarian.
But I'm just but like all the other shit I could care less.
Hey, look. I got one statement for you, sir.
Stop it. Get some help.
Please.
Get some help.
Y'all work in
Yeah.
the CIA. Like, why is the
scary.
CIA? This is the Central Intelligence Agency YouTube page, bro. Why is this what you're putting out? If you go to China, they're over there showing their military aged men
No,
testing
they're
out
over
new
there.
weapons, shooting guns, doing things that men do. And y'all want to talk about your feelings and how you're a woman, you're a cisgendered millennial woman. Bro, what?
Listen, if I was in Korea, in South Korea or North Korea, whatever it is, and in China, I would be loading the missiles as we speak, watching that ridiculousness. Okay. Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, speaking of ridiculous, let me talk to you about Juicy Smollett.
Juicy Schmooyeh.
So this was the 21st of November. This article came out, and the Illinois Supreme Court on Thursday overturned Jussie's conviction on charges of staging a racist and homophobic attack against himself in 2019 and lying to Chicago police, saying he should not have been charged a second time after reaching a deal with prosecutors. The ruling, which did not address Smollett's continued claims of innocence, was the latest twist in a year-long saga. Smollett, who is Black and gay, made headlines around the world after he told police January 2019 that two men assaulted him in his downtown Chicago neighborhood, spouting slurs, tossing a noose. Remember, he kept the noose on his neck as he walked back to his apartment with his sandwich in hand. And they yelled MAGA country at him while they poured bleach on him. Okay.
What?
Yeah. So the state's highest court found that a special prosecutor should not have been allowed to intervene after Smollier reached a deal with Cook County State Attorney in which charges against him were dropped in exchange for him forfeiting his $10,000 bond and performing community service. The deal prompted outrage in part because it did not include any condition that Smollier apologize or admit he staged the attack. We are aware that this case has generated significant public interest and that many people were dissatisfied with the resolution of the original case and believed it to be unjust. Nevertheless, what would be more unjust than the resolution of any one criminal case would be a holding from this court that the state was not bound to honor agreements upon which people have detrimentally relied. Okay, so basically he got that overturned on some type of like technicality. To me, it sounds like, but in light of the Hunter Biden pardon, since we're talking about stuff like this, I just want to refresh your memory on the incident, because here are the brothers that are actually behind the attack. They are the brothers that did the attack. They were hired by Jesse himself. And they came out and they said, hey, we'll tell you exactly what happened. So here they are. I'm actually going to speed this up a little bit just so we don't get hit with a copyright. I think I have to put it at 1.25. All right, here we go.
Our beautiful bench. This is where we waited for Jesse to come before we attacked him. So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp. On the dot. On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes? It was about 4 minutes, but it felt like forever. Because it was cold as balls.
I think it was like 30 below. Mind you, this is in Chicago, and the cold there is no balls. It was cold as balls. Okay, so right off the bat, because I'm from Chicago, if you see at whatever, I think this was like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, if you see two brothers, anybody standing out on a corner in Chicago in that type of cold, you already know something is about to go down. Okay, because ain't nobody standing out there, let alone are they going to go get a Subway sandwich at that hour. Okay, let's keep watching.
So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. We gotta go get this Empire. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him? That's that neck. That's that neck. Yeah, that neck. Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
This is where I was like, this has got to be a joke. Like this
high waters, look at his high waters, bro.
I know. The way they're walking, they're like, we're gonna get that Empire, whatever. And I'm like, oh my Lord.
Get that neck. Let's get him. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention. Hey, Nick. Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey, aren't you that Empire? Empire fat Nick. It's MAGA country. Yeah. And then he said, what did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that. And then I threw him to the ground. And after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this. Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark.
This
to make
is
it look
fake.
like he did get his ass beat. After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
The music. Oh, I love that video.
And his case got overturned despite him clearly being 100% guilty.
Yeah, on a technicality.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. There's our justice system for you. Meanwhile, Susan Lawrence, who shot a woman blindly through her door, she's doing 30 years. Easy. That was a quick decision, right?
Quick decision. Yeah. Lock
Quick
her up. Throw
decision.
away the key.
No problem. No problem.
This what's wrong with people?
I don't know, but you know what? In times like this, I seek words of comfort. I don't know about you, but I seek words of comfort. So let's get some words of comfort.
I have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
Suni, don't
What?
forget that. Don't forget it.
She was drunk. Can't nobody tell me otherwise.
Yeah, she was.
How do you go from virtually missing to putting out this weird video where you look completely disheveled? Don't you dare give up. These people lost the win out of their sales when you didn't win. You getting on TV and telling them to fight on, they don't care. You lost.
Yeah.
They're going to protest in the streets. They're going to throw fits. Trump's a fascist. Look at the Henny. She was off of something strong.
Ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you
Don't
did.
send me that. I'm posting that on TikTok.
Isn't that the funniest thing? That is the funniest thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
She had the bottle in hand. You black.
Hey, before we go, we got to talk about Dinesh D'Souza. You want to take that story?
Yeah, I do. Because if you guys remember me on a show called The Truth Will Set You Free, I was one of the main people on there. I think you were on the show.
Yeah.
That said that this was a total waste of time. And everybody was like, oh, you're being a Debbie Downer. Oh, Suni, you're just so negative now. No, it was a waste of time. And Dinesh D'Souza had to put out a statement exposing himself. And shout out once again to Anomaly, bro. Anomaly has been on an absolute roll. I'm going to show another one of his tweets, but this one was like, what the? Okay, I guess I was right. So after getting sued, Dinesh finally realized he was completely wrong about one of the mules. One of the mules, he tried to label him a mule, but he didn't technically fit the geographical data. So I'm going to read what D'Souza had to say. He said, as those who have seen the film or read the book know, 2,000 Mules was based on cell phone geolocation data collected and reviewed by True the Vote. An analysis of this data revealed highly suspicious patterns of certain cell phones, which were recorded in the location of 10 or more drop boxes. Excuse me. I have so much gas right now.
At least it's coming out of that end, honey.
Which were recorded in the location of 10 or more drop boxes. This data was the premise of the film. During production of this film, as a supplement to the geolocation data, True Vote provided my team with ballot box surveillance footage that had been obtained through open record request. We were assured that the surveillance videos had been linked to geo cell phone data, and that each video depicted an individual who had made at least 10 visits to drop boxes. So the man who was in the video that they had labeled a mule, or one of the 2,000 mules, was actually not a mule, and he sued the crap out of them. Okay? And he had to come out and walk the statements back.
Yeah.
Now, he is blaming, what does he call them? True the Vote. All right. He's blaming their research and saying, well, we trusted their information and I thought this, that, and the third. I know that the film and my book created the impression that these individuals were mules that had been identified as suspected ballot harvesters based on their geo-tracked cell phone data. While all of these individuals' images were blurred and unrecognizable, one of the individuals has since come forward publicly and has initiated a lawsuit over the use of his blurred image.
Who even knew you could do that?
Who even knew you could do that? But this completely lends to my point of, if this is true, why has the RNC not acted?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Right.
my question the entire time.
Everybody
If this
was
is
asking
true,
that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where's the RNC with all this? If all this
Exactly.
stuff is coming out, why is there no laws being drafted up? Why is there no one being held accountable? I'm just going to say it. I think a lot of this stuff was a money grab. I don't think these people were legitimately serious about finding out what happened during the 2020 election, because I think most people behind the scenes thought that there were a lot of idiots that came out to vote. And we know for certain that mail-in ballots, because of COVID, was completely unregulated. And I think a lot of votes came in that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think took the election.
I think it was a combination of the fraud that has been happening probably for years, because they already had proven that that type of stuff, there's a huge margin of error when it comes to counting votes and all this other stuff. I think it was people not showing up to vote, and a combination of what you said. I think it was a lot of factors. Do I think that there was funny business? Yeah, probably so. Do I think it was enough to say that the entire election was lost on that? No, I don't think so. Now that I've kind of done the research, because you all remember the symposium also that was put out by Mike Lindell, and all the lawsuits that he initiated. I think some of the lawsuits he did win, and they did make some changes to how some states were voting, which was a good thing, but nothing ever came of that symposium.
Right.
Where they were going and showing all these votes that had been switched. That should have been an easy win.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have all this evidence. Where like, what are we doing about it?
Yeah, I agree.
That, to me, this should be like major news in the conservative movement. It's actually shocking to me. A lot of people haven't spoken about this, don't have anything to say about it. It's kind of like Bryson brought this up probably last week.
What was her name? Ruby. Ruby Freeman.
Damn. Listen, don't tell nobody. Yo, that shit is funny. But Bryson said, hey, tell me what you think of this, Suni. 2020, the election was stolen. Midterms, 2022, the red wave came. 2024 general election, there is no talk of any fraud in any election outside of Kari Lake.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? And I'm just saying, if we're not even talking about election integrity, and they really didn't change any laws or do much of anything, were you all sold BS? Was Q a big psyop? Was all this a big psyop? Were we dumb enough to fall for it? And also Trump.
Well, and Trump and anybody else never told you to stop voting. So if there was like this huge widespread fraud, why would they why would he endorse people and say, make sure you go out and vote? If there was, and this was before this election, this was during when there was supposed to be a huge red wave, remember? So, you know.
I'm going to shut up though. Cause I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be quiet.
I mean, I'm just going to say this. Like,
I'm going to keep talking.
Oh, see, there's the woman in Sunni. When y'all walk away, I'm going to keep talking my shit. I'm going to be on my bullshit. You know, but like this kind of lends to like what I was saying jokingly just a few minutes ago, that we've been through some shit. You know what I mean? Like I encourage all of you guys to kind of like go back and like the way I did it was I went back and looked at all my old YouTube videos of all the stuff I had talked about and stuff. And I was just like, my God, there's been some weird stuff going on that we have been through. But it's like so much trauma and it's been like so much on one on top of the other that I think we haven't even had time to really realize like everything we've been through. But as a result of that, I hope we've all become wiser. And I hope that we all don't think that everything is exactly as it seems.
Well, that to
or
me,
as
that's
it's
their
presented.
that's their intention. It's their intention is to drive all of us psychotic and mad to the point where we're not paying attention to what actually matters.
Right.
An election just happened, and nobody on the Republican side is talking about fraud. Thank you. I don't want to say that because people get really emotional about that. But if you are someone who has a brain and it's functioning, you know you have to be asking yourself these questions deep down inside, like, wait a minute, what happened to fraud? Like he won that much, even though how many people came out and voted for Trump? Wasn't it 76,000? Something like that?
76,000?
76 million. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
76 million, right?
Yeah.
Joe Biden so-called got 81 million, more than Obama. Kamala Harris got 74 million.
Yeah.
I
mean,
bro.
we all know people that were at J6, right? We all know people that were there and went there because they really did think like this was exactly what it was, is like we're going to stand up and we're going to demand that what's his name, Pence demand a recount and not certify the votes, right? But the question is, was that all part of the act that we all had to play, right? Like we were just extras in their movie, right? It's like an open casting call, right? So like when they're filming a movie, they just put out a casting call and they say, hey, we need people to come and, just wear, they tell you, literally, that's how it works. They're like, wear, 80s themed clothes. We're doing like a movie. We're doing a big street scene and we need y'all to come out, and people show up, and that's how it happens. And then you have all these extras, and they actually work for free, by the way. We all worked for free. So, going back to Trump and his first day in office, I better see him pardon every single person that is sitting in jail for nothing.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Because the election system is clearly secure.
I'm going to say something that's probably going to true. I have the same thoughts about COVID.
We all have those. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I remember when I mentioned the $2 million in big pharma funds that Trump got during his inauguration. Now, I voted for Trump. Everyone here voted for Trump.
I love Trump.
But we have to be realistic, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying this as a preliminary, because all the picks haven't been selected yet. We still have to wait and see who Congress confirms and who Congress does not confirm.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact that there's a lot of establishment Republicans that do not want to see Trump successful. And I really think people have been forgetting that lately.
Yeah.
They act as if the majority of people there are on this America First agenda. They're not. They're not.
We're gonna start to see.
We're gonna start to see
who really is about it. You know what I mean? We really are. Trump's about to see it.
Mike Johnson, if the first order of business is to send money to Israel or to send missiles
or to fund more NGOs,
bro, y'all better freaking riot. I'm telling you to riot.
Do you know? Okay, I was watching Oscar. Oscar, Oscar, the guy we had on, Oscar Blue, who we had on our show talking about the border and all this stuff.
Nigga.
I watch all his lives, right? He was talking about Mike Johnson, and he didn't even know this. I didn't even know this. Do you guys know that Mike Johnson has sent the most money and funded the most NGOs? The same NGOs that Oscar came on the show and talked about are responsible for the crisis at the border and are helping to traffic children. Mike Johnson has given them more money than anybody. And by anybody, I mean Nancy Pelosi.
Nance.
Mike Johnson. Okay. And see, that's another situation. Okay. If you're first time listening or you've got something confused here, just know this. I voted for Trump. I support Trump. I want Trump to win. Okay. When I say win, like win for us.
Yeah.
Just know this. As I'm saying all this stuff, that is what I think. That is what I believe. I have a respect for that man. I do. But my eyes are open, okay? Because I said from the very beginning, when it was so easy for them to get Nance out of that seat, okay, and then they put old boy in there, what's his name? McCarthy, and he was in there for a hot minute, and then all of a sudden Mike Johnson, we were like, who the hell's Mike Johnson? Nobody ever heard of Mike Johnson before. And he came in, like, all that happened so
Quick.
smoothly.
Yep.
Smooth, okay? Like,
Don't forget what was on the table for that deal to go down.
What? Remind me.
The motion to vacate.
Oh, yes.
So now they can't easily trigger anybody to get up out of that seat. Listen, maybe it's because we pay attention to politics at a deeper level. I know I do. I'm a freak of nature. This is like football season for me. What does all this mean in the future? 22 Republicans voted against Jim Jordan being the Speaker of the House too.
Why is Thomas Massey not the speaker? I like Thomas Massey. Why is he not
Thomas
the speaker?
Massey called out Trump's DEA pick.
Mm-hmm.
He
I
said,
like
you need
him.
to be arrested for what you did during COVID.
I like him. I like Thomas Massey. Why is he not the speaker?
Because he's not controllable. He gonna get in there and say what needs to be said, which is what Trump needs to do. You need to get in there and expose it all. I feel like I'm watching Candace again. I got my hopes up for nothing because you can't even talk about nothing. You sitting up there talking about the moon landing. We've been there, done that, Candace. You just now catching up with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Talk about some stuff that matters, bro. Blow up conservative media. Blow up legacy media. Please. America is looking like a third world country day by day, man. Politics is a joke in this country. We just had a president pardon his criminal son to hide his criminal ways.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton is still walking around free, regardless of her emails being exposed. What else? How much, like, how long are we just going to sit around and say, all right, business as usual. Let's get online and complain about Congress. Let's complain about our local politics. Vote for the same people, wash, rinse, repeat. It's getting boring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bored. Yawn.
Just stay awake, people. Watch our show. We'll keep you grounded. Okay. There will be some days we love what Trump's doing. There'll be some days we won't love what Trump's doing, but we're going to keep you grounded. We're not going to let you slip into the darkness of thinking that this, but not just Trump, but that because they have an R next to their name or whatever, it is, that they can do no wrong. You guys have to get out of that mindset. You guys otherwise, because understand that this is the last run with Trump that we have. And if you guys don't fix your mind before this man is out of office, you're going to send us right back to where we were before.
Yeah. And who wants to go back there? I know I don't.
Not me.
I will leave this country again.
Oh,
can we go back to Japan?
He's about to be one of these leave this country people.
I'm going to Europe. Where are we traveling to? If people had the opportunity to take a break from America and leave, they would. Whether it was 4 years, whether it was a year, sometimes you need a break, bro. You ain't gonna drive me crazy, and you're damn sure ain't about to drive my kids crazy.
I think the only place I would go would be like Italy, and I'd have to be like really rich and live on a farm, like self-sustaining. It would have to be a very cush situation for me to leave the United States of America.
Listen, I just came from a beautiful island.
I know
that I would give up what I'm doing right now in a heartbeat to go back to. I thought I was coming back to an actual fight. I was excited to come back home. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
I could not wait to get back here.
Yeah.
Only to come back here and watch people do the same thing that they've been doing.
But Sudi, they gonna do it whether you're here or in Japan or anywhere else.
Right. So I can take my happy black ass on back out the country and y'all can sit here and do nothing.
Oh man, I have to be over here fighting the fight by myself then, I guess. So he's just gonna leave me here by myself, and she's gonna take off to the island of Okinawa.
Just for a couple of years, I'll be back.
That's great.
I gotta rejuvenate. Listen, I'm stuck here. Who knows how long I'm gonna be home? I'm stuck here. I could be
You
here
never
for
know.
10 years. I could be here for 7. I could
You
be
could
here for
you could
15
put in
years.
you could put in for a transfer. Hope you get it.
Not likely. That's like a lottery pick. You get Okinawa. Everyone's
Yeah.
trying to get that place. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Everyone wants to go back there.
Yeah.
That and Europe.
I wouldn't want to go to Europe. The food is trash. Well, not in all of Europe, but like, I there's some places I wouldn't want
Aviano
to
is
be.
in Italy. I want to go to Aviano.
Yeah, I would go to Italy for sure. I wouldn't want to go to France. French food is not my fave. Definitely not
What's
in the
French?
UK.
Like, now that you just said that, what
You
type
know-
of food is French? I've never even heard of French food.
Well, I mean, there's not necessarily like a I'm trying to think of like a dish that's like known in the French. I mean, there's just dishes that they prepare, and it's like the way they season things and the way they cook things. I mean, it's not all bad. It's
Okay.
not terrible, but it's not my like I wouldn't want to live
not
there
your cup
every
of tea.
day. It's not my cup of tea. But Italy, pasta, bread, wine, I could die.
That doesn't even sound good to me.
Oh,
I
Here
would
we
die there
go.
because they put cheese in everything and pork.
I know my mouth is watering. Don't talk about food. I'm like, I'm hungry. I need to go downstairs and eat again.
Oh man. Well,
I
I got one more thing for y'all before I go. One more
Okay.
thing. I just want to ruffle some feathers one more time. Remember when I made fun of Mitch? I got online and I was doing my whole tap dancing spiel.
Oh yeah.
Because Kathy Hochul came out and said that New
Oh,
York
Lord.
secured over 183 million in compensation for Holocaust victims. And look, X decided to put a added context. This is a misrepresentation of a New York State program which has existed for decades. And they facilitated, listen to this, they have facilitated the return of stolen property back to Holocaust victims and their descendants. Tell me
Why?
what stolen property are you returning to them?
Right. And how do we have
Like,
it?
Thank you.
We got the stolen property. Last I checked, all them shoes are at the Holocaust Museum at
What
Auschwitz.
that got to do with us? And it said the only thing publicly funded are the salaries of those involved in the project, which is even more screwed up.
Right.
Why are we paying for why are we looking for their stolen items that don't exist here? Because
And who are you giving them to? Because they're those people. Like, who are they going to? That's like the reparate. That's no.
look at what Anomaly said. He said, I guarantee no conservative commentator that freaks out about black reparations will cover this topic. I've
Yeah.
seen no one cover this topic. Where
Right.
y'all at with it? You know what Cash told me? And I love
You
Cash
can't
to
talk
death.
about the Holocaust any.
I love Cash to death. But he said, it's New York. What do you expect? I said,
Mhm.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's liberal, it's okay? If
So-
this was liberal California, y'all talked about California even floating the idea. You
Right.
talked about Maryland even floating the idea. But when it comes to them getting something, oh, it's just liberals being liberals. Like, bro, where is
But-
the consistency?
But my question is like when it comes to talking about blacks getting reparations, people are always like, well, who's going to pay for it, right? Because we're all United States citizens. So like, where's it going to come from? Because none of these slave owners exist anymore.
Right.
And their family members weren't the slave owners. So why do they have to pay? So my question is, who here, like who here is going to pitch, like who pitched in for this 183 million? Who pitched in on? Who put in on that? Like, how was that even determined? And like, what was
Right.
your
Where
thought
did the
process?
money come from?
Yeah, like what was your thought process? Like, was it a GoFundMe and it was just like, hey, if you want to be nice and contribute to the Holocaust Victims Fund?
Even better, like you said, what the is being returned? That
Yeah.
started off here to begin with. You're returning stolen items from who? Who are
Right.
you taking these items from?
Right.
If they were stolen, you got to be taking it from somewhere. So where is it coming from?
Like, are they talking about maybe people who have like heirlooms that were passed down in their family?
But who stole them in the United States of America?
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, how did you even find, like, how does that even happen? I mean, I don't mean to joke about all the shoes that are at Auschwitz, you know, like in the museum, but no, really, like that's the only thing I can think of. You know, like you go to the Auschwitz Museum and they have like they have a representation to kind of like, you know, illustrate like how many people were there, like all the shoes and all the watches and like this, that, like that's the only thing I can think of. Because those were the people that were victimized, right? The people that were victimized by the Holocaust. I'm confused. We can't talk
I'm
about
confused too. I want to know why we got to pay for these folks. Why I didn't steal none of your shoes. The people of New York didn't steal your shoes. We didn't steal your heirlooms. You're saying the only thing that's publicly funded. So what you're saying is we are paying the salaries of these people who are going through and find stolen shoes and heirlooms and broken dishes and maybe ripped out pages of fake made up diaries. Like
Right.
what is happening?
Yeah.
And why y'all ain't saying nothing about it on this conservative side?
Yeah.
On this good Tuesday night.
See,
Or-
black folks need to step up and y'all need to say, listen, y'all lucky you had shit to steal because we didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing.
We ain't got nothing. They stole it. They took our language.
No,
we
they
don't know
never-
what tribe we came from.
Right? They never gave it to it. Give them back, Africa. Give it back.
Welcome to America, y'all.
Especially now that Joe Biden is apparently sending money to Africa to pay for whatever happened there. I don't know what happened there, but he's sending money to Africa.
What the Congo?
Yeah. They're gonna be living fat, okay? You're gonna see a bunch of little African kids walking around with Biden Harris or Biden Walls t-shirts, okay? Because
Not
those
the
things,
African kids.
right? Because you know what they do with the shirts, right? Like, you know, like when the Super Bowl happens and like the losing team shirts go to Africa. Same thing with the Biden Walls
I
campaign.
did not know that.
You didn't know that? That's why, like,
No.
when you see African kids, like whenever they show Africa and like the kids or whatever, they're all wearing like, you know, soccer jerseys, or they're just wearing t-shirts that like either went out of style here. It's
Bro,
because
that's so
send-
disrespectful.
Yeah, they send them all to Africa.
That's so disrespectful. You can get some free jerseys, but we're
Yeah.
gonna mine the shit out of your country. And
Yeah.
then we're gonna have you do it for slave wage.
Yes.
And then argue in our country about how the people here work for slave wages, but really they don't. They
Yeah.
want to make $25 an hour for flipping a damn burger, virtually doing nothing. I was gonna say something.
We've been
I'm
through
so
some
sick
shit,
of,
y'all.
I am so sick of people in this country. I'm so sick of you bastards. You're so
You know what?
ungrateful. So ungrateful.
I know that you said you were going to be the last topic, but because you said you're so sick of stuff, I wanted to show this video because I wanted to get everybody's like, and I'm sure you guys have seen this because it's been going viral, but there was this video of this little girl just destroying a Walmart. Okay.
Yeah, I saw
And
that. I would have whooped her
this-
little ass.
This is crazy. Okay. And, you know, now that we're talking about this stuff, I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I feel her now. Like, I want to go in the Walmart and destroy some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
No, Mo, you cannot.
and can't nobody stop me. Okay. I'm going to go in there. Listen, look at what she does, y'all. I'm not even going to talk. I'm just going to let the video play because y'all need to talk. The lady, okay, so behind her, this is her grandmother. This is her grandmother behind her. Okay. The lady is yelling, the police going to come and lock you up. The girl said, I don't care. She threw more shit. And her grandmother's just walking behind her. Okay. Not saying a damn thing. She's scared of this little girl. She's probably fed up. Her mother probably left her with this girl. And she's like, you know what? Let her get arrested.
See, look, listen. I don't do gentle parenting.
Mm-hmm.
My children got disciplined when they were younger.
Yeah.
And not like no beat down, like a pop on the butt, a pop
Yeah.
on the hand. That's
Yeah.
the extent of our disciplining our children, right? There is no whooping this child. Your immediate response, look, I even said it. I would have whooped your butt.
Mhm.
You would have remembered that day in Walmart, and you would have never thought to do it again because you would have remembered the whooping I put on you, right? That
Yeah.
would be my immediate response.
Yeah.
But then the rational side of me kicks in. The mom I am to my children. You are acting out because something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of making a spectacle of this child, be asking the question of what happened, what is wrong, and what is going on at home. Because
Mhm.
we could talk about how bad she is, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but she's a child at the end of the day,
Mhm.
and she's reacting to something. How do we know she's not, while you're making a spectacle of her, not you, but I'm just speaking just in general, the public. What
Yeah.
if she's experiencing something traumatic and this is her only way
A
of getting
1,000%.
anyone to pay attention? Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is
Yeah.
at all,
No,
because
I
she could
am
just be a
saying.
very unruly child.
But I don't think even then, like the unruliness comes from somewhere. And clearly her grandmother who's walking behind her, I'm assuming it's her grandmother,
Yeah.
is not doing anything. Okay. Now I have
Right.
actually been in a similar situation with Gabby, who used to throw fits when she was little, and she would
Mhm.
scream at the top of her lungs when she was little and throw herself on the ground. And I have had a cart full. Okay. I have left my cart. I stopped in my tracks. I pick her up very calmly and I take her home. Okay. I don't apologize to anybody at the store. I walk my ass out and take her with me.
Yeah.
And I have done that at restaurants. You know, that's just what it takes to be a parent. And that little
Yeah.
girl clearly is looking for a reaction
Mhm.
from somebody. So let's keep watching because she does get some reactions in here. And I want to see what y'all think because I was asking some questions while I was watching this. I gotta do that.
Well, whoever she's with, we are going. But she is in the store. Young lady, don't yell at her. Don't yell at her. You don't know who's with you.
What? Oh, hell no, bro. Nope.
Don't report her. That doesn't matter. You don't know what she's doing. Girl, you don't know what she's doing. Don't you?
Shout out to this guy, okay, who finally steps in because the whole time I was watching this, I was like, why are these men standing around? And I understand that we're in a world now where
Mhm.
men don't want to step in to do anything because this is what the climate has created.
Yeah.
But shout out to this guy who was not afraid. And this is probably what this girl needed is a father, a man
Yeah.
to come in here because she clearly was looking around like, ain't nobody gonna stop me from doing this. Is a very sad video to me.
Yeah.
Very
Is that
sad.
the end when he walks up, or does it continue?
No, that's the end.
Yeah, the women are like, you don't know what she's been through. Just let her destroy things in the store.
Mm-hmm.
I would have went over there and gave her a hug and said, let's go take a walk.
Yeah.
You could have kicked and screamed on your way out, and your grandma could have followed me.
Yeah. Yep. So that guy ultimately took her out over his shoulder. He picked her up over his shoulder. Now, I don't know if this man was related to her or what. Like maybe he was her father and he was walking around in the store. I don't
Mhm.
know. But he picked there's an image. I'll show you the image real quick. of him walking out of the store with or it's a different guy from the guy that approached her, but this guy has her over his shoulder.
Yeah, take her little ass out.
Yeah.
She needed to be escorted out. Nobody was going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Clearly the grandma can't handle her, like she said, like you just said. And there's something more going on.
Definitely.
And instead of your immediate response is to pull your phone out and record. I seen that video and I was like, you know what? I'm not reposting that.
Yeah.
For what?
I was a little disappointed because I saw Lopez comment on this. And he said,
he made a comment about black children.
well, he said, must be a traumatic effect of slavery she's experiencing, must be the traumatic effects of white supremacy she's experiencing. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't here for that because I was just like, this is really sad because this is a kid, you know. It's one thing if this was a grown woman acting this way.
And if she was screaming slavery, that would be different.
Yeah, but this is a baby and there's still time to save her. You know what I mean?
This is what I mean. And instead of, and people will be like, it's on social media, so what? You don't have the ability to keep scrolling?
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro, we got bigger things in this country to worry about.
Yeah.
And she's probably a result of poor parenting, poor culture in this country. We don't know her environment. She could be in a very crappy environment. Her grandma, maybe her grandmother's the last resort, but maybe she's too far gone.
Or she's tired.
She's tired. Maybe she's
And,
tired.
And I said this, it was kind of like jokingly, but it's not. She's not just a product of her culture and her home, but she's a product of this world. Okay. Kids these days don't get to be kids. And this is the result. Like, who knows what this little girl hears? Who knows what she's dealing with? She doesn't get to have, most kids these days, it doesn't matter if you're growing up in a rich household or a poor household, you are for sure hearing things you don't need to hear as a child.
Yeah.
And that's a lot for a little baby. You know what I mean? It's a lot for a kid to handle. It's a lot for an adult to handle sometimes. I don't know how the kids are handling it.
Man.
But yeah.
That was actually a good way to end the show. That was a good video to end with.
Yeah.
I hope people stop posting shit like that. I know. It's gonna take Signal 66. Do you know who that is? I don't know who you are. You just distracted me from what I was saying. Maybe it'll come back. This kid is a product of being rejected and she's acting out. She needs to be heard clearly. She didn't have the words to say. Yeah, it's just, I wish people would stop posting things like this, even though I know it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
And I wish, we're talking about it from a completely different lens, but people just putting this up there for clickbait. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
There was very little constructive comments in the, being said. It was a lot of like, she should be spanked and blah, blah. And I get all that. I agree. There needs to be some type of discipline.
Yeah.
But there's a bigger issue. There's a bigger issue there.
Bigger issue. Way bigger. Signal 66. I don't know who you are. You have the Groyper thing up there. I'm hungry. And I don't think
I agree.
I got to deal with me right now. So
I
we're
gotta
going to pass
pee.
on
I'm
you.
hungry.
We're going to pass on you. Maybe that is who that is. Yeah, no thanks.
The one who's like sits all slumped down, and I'm like, can you just sit up straight? Because
Yeah,
you're
the
giving
one
me
who sits like this.
Yeah.
He sits
Yeah.
like this, and he looks like he's always doing something with his hand over here.
Yeah.
Which he probably is. Fucking freak. Let me get off here. I'm hangry.
I know, me too.
She said, bleh. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed our return on Tuesdays. Now, I don't know if Mo's up for this, but I can add an extra day into the week because I know people only see us once a week. And Trump is about to come in office. We're going to have a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah, I need to think about it because my schedule's kind of busy. It's kind of busy.
See,
so I
now
gotta
Mo's
think about it.
busy.
Yeah, Mo's always busy, but having that extra day has been nice because I'm able, I have businesses, guys, like that I do. So it's a lot. I feel that with money. Okay. I feel that with money.
Excuse me.
And this doesn't make us money right now. So I got to fill that money that day with
that
money.
money.
I got to fill that money, honey. Yeah.
I can do a show
so-
by myself.
Yeah. Suni can always
I do
a show.
shows by myself.
Or you can have somebody.
No, I typically like doing certain reactions by myself. And this is what I've been noticing. If I have something to react to, I will go live and react to it. If I don't have something to react to, I just don't go live. That's been my thing lately. I don't feel the need to go live for every little thing. Things happen. Okay, I'll come and talk about it on Tuesday. If not, maybe I'll pick a day throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find things to react to. So if you guys want to send me videos, you want to send me crazy things that you've seen throughout the week, I'll react to them. But my timeline is fairly boring. It's filled with a bunch of people doing lectures, maybe a Country Wayne skit, probably some true crime stuff. I'm pretty boring, guys. Pretty boring.
You gotta react to, remember those lesbians that I sent you the video of that they ordered sperm from that like company?
Oh yeah.
And they're documenting like their injections and all this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta react to that because that's just
Start
ratchet.
sending me stuff. I'll react to it. I have a short attention span, but I swear if you say Suni react to this, I'll react.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, shut up. Suni going straight to Walmart and doing more damage. I hate going to Walmart, to be honest with you. I do
I haven't
online
been.
shopping. I don't even go into stores anymore.
I have not been, although I will say Walmart has some cute clothes online and great sales. And
yeah,
buy some clothes from Walmart, like online. Don't go in the store.
Yeah, graphic tees, absolutely.
They have really
I
cute
love
stuff.
a graphic tee from Walmart.
Even like cute, like, hey, like their workout stuff is cute. They're
And their
like
jackets and their sweaters too.
They got some bomb jackets, like puffer vests there. Listen,
Bro,
don't
real
sleep
people
on
go
Walmart.
shop, go get a t-shirt from Walmart. Y'all tripping.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Walmart. Just don't go to Walmart. Just go online and take advantage of their sales.
Go wait and they bring it out to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ghetto Mart.
It is.
Well, y'all, thanks for rocking with us. See you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
So when you're done getting high, it's over. When the party's over, where you going when the party's over?